I think we can cope with it because if we look at the gas pipeline, Germany is an independent country what energy supply is concerned. We diversify. But if you look at the main overarching topic, it's about the summit here. We have to put a lot on the table. We as 29 allies. And I want this summit to be a success that sends out the message of unity and resolve.
When we talk about this pipeline, though, there are serious concerns. Other EU member states have raised them in the past, that this might compromise security when it comes to Germany or to NATO allies generally. How do you respond?
We have the same interest. So we defend and protect the same security issues. That is our democracies, our economies, the rule of law, the human rights. So it's in our German interest to work closely together with our allies. We have to tackle that issue. There is an issue without any question, but we should not forget that there's more on the NATO table.
And you don't believe that this pipeline would compromise security?
No, in our own German interest, we have to make sure that this is not the case. And I'm very confident where that is concerned. We are in deep talks about that topic. But as I said, there are many other things to worry about what security is concerned. Talk about Russia in itself and its behavior, malign behavior. Talk about China. Talk about cyber attacks, ISIL terror, just to name a few topics we have to debate here.
And something else that's of concern to NATO allies, and certainly to the president, he's mentioned this several times, is that defense spending and getting to that 2% target. I know that you've been working very hard to get there. However, you're not there yet. How worried should NATO allies be about the readiness of the German military?
We are in a good shape. What the overall readiness is concerned, we came from a period like all the other European countries after reunification and when the wall came down, when the Soviet Union collapsed and the Warsaw Pact disappeared, that we cut budget over 25 long years because all of us thought it's going to be more peaceful around us. We made the turnaround with President Obama in 2014 and ways. Since then, we are investing heavily in the German armed forces and other European countries too, because the armed forces need it. We want to modernize the whole cyber topic, for example. So we improved a lot, but there's still work to be done. At that point, the American friends have a point.
Nobody was expecting the president to come out swinging quite this early on the very beginning, first hours of this summit. Can you tell me what you think will happen here? Because essentially what you have are 2 days of talks that have only just begun.
It's very hard to predict, but there are two overarching topics I think we should, or underlying ties we should not forget. 2 weeks ago, approximately, I was in Washington, and I talked to congressmen, congresswomen, and senators. And it was heartwarming to listen to them and to hear from them how precious the German-American friendship is and the European-American friendship, the transatlantic bonds. So since I talked to them, I'm very reassured that it's worth to fight for our transatlantic alliance. And the second thing is NATO is not only about capability, it's also about trust. That this promise, if one of us is being attacked, we all stand at his or her side and defend the country. Is being kept. We proved it once. You remember 9/11, this horrible attack. We all stood and stand still steadfast at the American side in Afghanistan. So to invest in that promise is a good investment.
You say it's about trust, but when you hear that kind of rhetoric from the U.S. president just at the very beginning of this NATO summit, can you really trust that the president has your back?
Well, the president is as the president is. We know him and we can cope with that. But to be clear about that, this rhetoric also leads us to remember that a lot is at stake. My parents' generation came out of World War II. They knew what they were working for. That is peace. My generation has taken all this for granted because it was always there. I took it as a given. Now we have to fight for democracy. We have to secure our international order, our peace architecture. So a lot is at stake, and this even gets us more attentive what our common values and interests are.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.